Shall we start?
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
As usual, we'll just remember Baba seeking his help. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Beloved Baba, please be with us throughout this journey and give us pleasure of your sahvas and your darshan and guide us. Thank you, Baba. Jai Baba. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Loving Jai Baba to all. We are reading this Meher Baba's early messages to the West. Gangde sir is not there, who usually reads for us those difficult pages. If possible, I'll try. If it is possible for me to read. It's very difficult, but we'll try. This is page number 296, and this is Los Angeles Times, May 29, 1932, at the beginning of Meher Baba's week-long High Point visit to Hollywood. And below is Los Angeles Times, May 26, 1932, during Baba's cross-country train journey from New York. Indian mystic arrives soon. Harmon, New York, May 25. Mr. Prakash, you will also be seeing from your book if I'm wrong. Please correct me. Shri Meher Baba, Indian mystic, will leave tomorrow for California to visit Hollywood and other cities. He will be accompanied by 9 disciples. Baba, called Masiha by his followers, will stay in Hollywood for 5 days and will go to San Francisco, whence he will call for Shanghai. He will call for Shanghai. He plans to return to California July 12 and break his 7-year silence the following day. There's another message. Silent mystic of India to arrive here today. Am I audible? Okay, Jai Baba.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Materialistic Hollywood today will come under the scrutiny of Sri Meher Baba, Indian mystic whose belief it is that Europe and America pay too little attention to things spiritual and therefore are passing through an era of depression. Hollywood has been selected by Baba as the place where next month he will break a 7-year silence begun in Bombay when he took a vow of silence to give an example of self-discipline. The breaking of this lengthy silence will be done in American way, totally.
It was typically.
Yeah. American way, according to Baba's plans, with a national radio hookup, carrying his first words, arriving at Alhambra at 10 a.m., he will be taken by automobile to the home of M.E. Jones, author, philosopher, at 2400 North Goes Street, where he and several of his 9 disciples are to be guests for 5 days. Baba and his disciples will go to San Francisco at the end of 5 days to embark for Shanghai and will return to Hollywood for the ending of the 7-year period of speechlessness. Unlike Krishnamurti, Hindu philosopher known throughout the world for his teachings, Baba believes that only through modern means can a message concerning spiritual matters be properly carried to the world's masses, and for that reason will begin a campaign with the breaking of his silence, which will find radio and the
Yes.
press carrying his messages according to Jones. The Hollywood writer's residence has been selected to house the
Mystic.
mist
Mystic.
during his visits because of Jones' friendship with Mr. and Mrs. Malcolm Scholes of Herman, New York, Baba's chief disciples in America, where he has hundreds of followers, Jones said. The Harmon couple will be in the party accompanying Baba to Hollywood. Others in the group will be Mr. and Mrs. Meredith Starr. Continued on page number 2, column 5, Silent Mystic arrives today. The former in English poet and mystic Quentin Todd, also a Briton, Baba's 2 brothers, Adi and Behram, and Indian follows. Baba's title means Mr. Enlightened Father, Jones explained yesterday. His
Mr.
proper name, yeah. His proper name is Mehban Shariar Irani. His followers refer to him as the Masiha. His belief, similar to Krishnamurti's, is that the world's spiritual life is composed of 2 forces, good and evil, and that the latter has too great a grip on the consciousness of Europe and America, according to Jones. Baba, when interviewed, uses an alphabet board, pointing to letters on the board and spelling out words in answering questions. He claims to have told Gandhi sorry, to get out of politics first when the Mahatma asked to be permitted to study the Baba philosophy. Baba has been the guest of the Harman couple since arriving in America on the 19th inst. There is another column above from that. Now, this one is from the Chicago Daily Tribune, March 30, 1932, on way to US. I should have been able to present this, but somehow I am not able to. Anyway.
I can present if you want.
Yeah, please. Yes.
But
I'll continue reading. Meanwhile, is it okay? Yeah.
1 second. Not this one, but here. So,
This is Nasik.
so where is it? I mean, is it some
Down. This one is not not this page. The before this. Yeah, this one. And down the page. Yeah, on way to US, this one. Yes. Thank you so much. If you can enhance it, this still better. Meher Baba, the God man, a priest of the Zoroastrian faith of India, who is on his way to the United States with the announced purpose of breaking down all religious barriers, destroying this country's materialism, and uniting all creeds in a common element of love. Press photo. A redated press photo. I couldn't read that word. And I'll just try if this I can read. Can you read this one? I can't read this.
it's
Page.
Associated Press photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After this, the page after this, can you read it? I am
Well,
not able to read this font.
I don't know
Not
where
this
is
one. This page is over. Yeah. Not
this
this.
one.
No, before this, before this, before this. Um, before this. It's a beautiful photo.
I know.
That perhaps I can. Okay, then we'll start from here, Mr. Prakash, because those fonts are so small. I don't think
Okay.
we can read it. Or at the most, we can go to the next page, which you had.
Can you see what's on the
Yeah,
screen?
this one. Yeah, the
This is
sorry.
big enough. I can read, but my throat is a little off.
So then, no, this is not the page. Um, have I seen you Grand Hotel? This is another beautiful photo of Baba.
Yeah,
Perhaps
it's a
that-
bit too enlarged.
So then I think we will straight away go to the next page that is readable. And from your 296 to 97, it can be 298. Not this one. It reads, one second. Sorry for all this disturbance today. This one. Yeah, that starts with Indian mystic arrives to break 7 years silence. That is an article from Daily Gleaner. And perhaps you can read from the book Kingston, Jamaica, March 29, 1932. And the below article from the Fitchburg Sentinel.
Sorry, which page are you
National
talking about,
May
Meherkrupa?
1932, 296 to 97, you see,
Okay,
to
okay,
97.
okay. I have
Indian
it.
mystic arise to break 7 years silence. Is it
Okay,
there?
yeah.
Yeah, I'll just read it. When I
Mhm.
need your help, you will help me. New
Okay.
York, New York, May 30. Shri Meher Baba, Indian mystic, has come to the land of talkies and loudspeakers to break his 7 years silence. He maintained his vow as he arrived on the steamer Bowman from England. Those words, I can't read those words, by shipping a number of questions into his English secretary, onto his English secretary, Quentin Todd. Yeah, this is the page, and this is the first column. Those dark words, I couldn't read them.
Yeah, England
That's not
yesterday
readable.
by,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll skip it. Quentin Todd, for such personal communication as he saw fit to make, he was armed with a small blackboard on which were painted letters of the alphabet and numericals. With him, he brought 1,000-word written statement. Oh, his secretary explained it was his message to America. In it, Meher Baba proclaimed himself one with the infinite source of everything. When I speak, the statement said, my original message will be delivered to the world and it will have to be accepted. Whether he will break his silence while at a retreat maintained by his followers at Herman, New York, or wait until he reaches California, his ultimate destination in this country was not made plain. He had no comment to make on the Indo British situation, and it was explained for him that when Mahatma Gandhi sought his teachings, he told Gandhi to quit politics. We have to remember that India was not independent at that time, and Britishers were ruling India. So Baba has avoided answering anything on that question so nicely. His followers explained that superconsciousness was bestowed upon Meher Baba when he was a youth by the kiss of a Parsi woman saint, Hazrat Babajan. After 7 years, another saint, Sri Sadguru Pasni, confirmed protect sight upon him, and disciples began to flock to him. This is not Meher Baba's first visit to America. He was here last October. Now, this another article is from Daily Cleaner. That is, Meher Baba plans crusade in US. Spiritual leader leaves India for America to establish retreat at Herman. By airmail to the Cleaner, Bombay, March 25. Meher Baba, the Indian spiritual leader, whose disciples call him the God man, left here today for a new crusade in America. He intends, he said, to break down all religious barriers, destroy America's materialism, and amalgamate all creeds into a common element of love. For 8 years, Meher Baba has been observing a vow of silence, which he said he would break upon his arrival at Herman, New York, where he plans to establish a spiritual retreat similar to Mahatma Gandhi's in India. Giving his first interview to an Associated Press correspondent by means of a blackboard, Meher Baba, who in the eyes of his followers has performed many miracles, said Gandhi had promised to come with him to the United States as soon as his political works has been finished a year hence. Many Indians regard Meher Baba as Gandhi's guru or spiritual advisor. Word redress, a word redeem word. Mm. Would redeem word.
Yeah, really
Would
word.
redeem word. Meher Baba is a Parsi priest of the Zoroastrian faith and says he is both divine and human. He explained that he attained a superconscious state from which he returned to carry out his mission of redeeming the world, WORLD word, discussing on his blackboard the miracles which he allegedly has performed. Meher Baba wrote, "Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm
Oh,
sorry, because the next page is only half page, as you see
right.
here on the screen. So we are sorry we can't read it.
Correct.
But what is given down that we can read clearly, Masiha, Hollywood bound, keeps his 7 year silence. And this article is from the Chicago Daily Tribune, May 20, 1932. New York, May 19, AP, Sri Meher Baba, whose disciples call him the Masiha, came from far away India today to kindle American materialism with the fires of Zoroastrianism. He was in the midst of a 7 year silence and could not explain his campaign, but his secretary said he would first go to Hollywood and might enter the movies if that proved to be the best avenue of approach to the American mind. Surrounded by a retinue of followers in Hindu dress, he stood on the deck of the incoming Brahman and looked profound while his aides spoke for him.
Yep.
Thank you, Baba. Somehow, two
Mhm.
pages of publication. This one is very difficult. Now, the one with the photo you are showing, no, Mr. Prakash,
Yeah.
at least I can't read these fonts.
You want me to try, but this is too small. Yeah.
No, that's too difficult. I don't think, even with Zoom, it goes off.
Right.
So we'll wait for Gangade sir. In the next session, we'll ask him. What he does, no?
Yeah.
A,
Okay.
a printer is a very good friend of his. So
Okay.
he gets printed from him after doing Zoom, and so
Okay. Okay.
read it. I don't think it is, we can read it. You have a very bad throat.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll continue our, we will start fifth part and that is very important part. It is all about how it all happened. Many questions which I feel, and this is my personal this thing after reading through these pages and going through the appendix and all that, many things, many questions arise to our mind when we read God Speaks. Questions like, which is the first form of fish, which is the first form of bird, which is the link between man and monkey, and so many things, which is the first form, which is the last form. And so, yeah, here we are. I think we get a clue here. Baba has clearly explained this was the first form. He has given pictures, he has given names. So I think it is very important. Part 5, how it all happened, notes for a film. Indian mystic plans to view Grand Hotel. One of the Southampton's most colorful visitors in some time, Sri Meher Baba, Indian mystic who has not spoken for several years, will be the guest of honor at the Chinese Theatre Thursday evening when he will witness Grand Hotel and the Sir Grauman prologue. Meher Baba, yeah, this is, yeah, after this, yeah, here, yeah, this one. Meher Baba, who is declared to be spiritual advisor to Mahatma Gandhi, has announced that he will break his long self-imposed silence over a national broadcast from Hollywood on the 13th inst. The attendance of the mystic at the Chinese will be one of his few personal appearances during his sojourn in Southern California. Grand Hotel features Great Garbo, John Merrimore, John Crawford, Wallace Berry, and Lionel Barrymore. I'm sorry for the wrong pronunciations of the names, especially. A new definition of Hollywood was given this week when Sri Meher Baba, Indian mystic, who hasn't spoken for 7 years, visited Talal,
Cellula.
Talullah,
Yeah, Cellula.
Talullah Banquet at Paramount. When the star asked him why he had chosen Hollywood at which to break his silence July 13th, Sri Baba spelled on his alphabet board, because of the equal balance which exists here between the spiritual and the material forces. Oh, very important.
Yeah.
During 1934-35, Baba turned his attention to the medium of motion pictures in proportion,
Preparation.
sorry, pre-propo,
Preparation.
yeah,
Preparation.
preparation for meetings with representatives of the Hollywood film world. Baba and his Mandali created a variety of literary and artistic materials to be used in How It All Happened, a film conveying Baba's cosmology on the story of the soul's journey. So this was page number 155. 156 is that beautiful picture of Baba, and the below, yeah, this is one more picture, and then the another picture. That page says a Paramount movie studio with Adi Junior, Quentin Todd, Behram Talullah, yeah, this one, Behram Talullah, Bankhead, Chanji, and Kaka, Hollywood, May, June 1932. This was page number 156, and now we'll start the routine. Reading page number 157, that is Introduction to Part 5. I don't think there is anything much to explain or discuss. If anyone wish so, may please raise hand and has additional information can give it to us. Now, these are the pages. Maybe this is separate mail you might have received, Mr. Prakash.
I'm trying to, I thought I saw it before, but I could be
Acha,
wrong.
acha. That is page number 157. If this page is there, that has to be there actually.
Yeah,
I saw,
that's what it looked.
yeah, after this. Oh, that means
I don't know
okay.
where it's gone, but
Ah,
that's what I saw.
okay. I can share, but it's very multiple participants. Shall
Why
I
don't you
share?
share from your screen? Maybe it's easy.
Yeah, okay, but that is too small. Can you see and read it? Can you
Yeah,
see it?
part five, right?
Uh, Page number 157.
157. Yeah.
It is in your hand.
Yeah, I can read this if you don't mind. Introduction to part five. You want me to show it or just read it?
Can you read with your voice?
I'll try. If it doesn't work, then you can stop me.
Yeah,
Though
I'll
Meher
make
Baba's,
effort.
though Meher Baba's work in the domain of film came to a head in 1934-35, its seeds were sown during his first trip to America in 1931. While staying in Harmon at the behest of his hostess Margaret Mayo on December 3rd, 1931, Baba dictated a story of three individuals, X, Y, and Z, over 5 lifetimes, through the course of which they progress from utter barbarism and cannibalism to the heights of spiritual realization, dramatizing reincarnation and spiritual advancement as so maybe my throat is too bad.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll
Yeah.
take over. I have the pages, don't worry, though I don't have the book here. Anyway, dramatizing reincarnation and spiritual advancement as stages in the soul's journey, the XYZ narrative held its place at the core and center of Baba's undertakings in the domain of film during the next 4 years. During 1932 and 1933, Meher Baba made many further contacts in the world of motion pictures, and by the beginning of 1934, work in the film medium had emerged as his major focus. In late May, Baba, with several of his mandali, prepared a body of material narrative, metaphysical, scientific, and artistic, to be incorporated into a film that would dramatize what Baba later called the divine theme. That is, the film would depict the original creation of the universe out of the ocean of God's infinite light, the evolution of form and consciousness from ether and atom to the advanced apes, the cycle of reincarnation in human form, spiritual advancement through the planes of consciousness, and the fulfillment of the goal of creation in the soul's realization of God. The stages of creation and evolution were explained through material that Baba dictated and that his mandali gleaned from scientific textbooks. Reincarnation and spiritual advancement were to be illustrated through the XYZ narrative. The materials from this period preserved in the archives of the Alta Mehbaba Trust are essentially notes for film literary and artistic sketches, as it were, to be used in presenting the film concept to representatives of the motion picture industry. The surviving textual documents take the form of rough drafts, and none of them presents a scenario of how it all happened in its developed entirety. Moreover, while some of this material clearly records points of Meher Baba's own dictation, other content represents extracts from the evolutionary and physical sciences of 1930s. We would misconstrue the nature of this material then if we took it simply to be another compilation of Meher Baba's words. It is better understood as an assemblage of pointers and glimpses of promptings that were to be used and consummated through the combined efforts of a team of writers, visual artists, scientists, philosophers, mystics, actors, film technicians, and producers in a major motion picture. In fact, Baba paid two visits to the West, one to Europe in June July 1934, and one to Hollywood in December January of 1934 35, in an effort to translate how it all happened from a concept into an actualized film. The meetings and plans and undertakings of the period proved to be inconclusive, however, though Baba continued to encourage efforts among his followers and disciples over the next few years. No film eventuated. All that descends to us today is a residue of documents in the trust archives. The next that we have assembled here under the title How It All Happened brings together passages from three principal documents in the vision and sequence that Baba clearly had in mind. The sequence of elements is indeed spelled out in the first page of a document entitled Scenario, reproduced on page 191 to 192, that is appendix. Since the original prose is rough, it has been edited here in the interests of readability. The story of XYZ that constitutes the second moment of how it all happened reproduces the edited text that Phyllis Frederick published in the Awakener, Volume 22, number 1, 1986, page number 1 to 4, under the title A Touch of Maya. A scenario by Meher Baba. Yet, though, how it all happened has been prepared editorially for presentation in this book, readers can be assured that all of its content is directly based on the prose of original documents. Nothing of substance has been added and nothing deleted, except passages that are essentially digests of information from scientific reference sources. Those who would like to read these excised passages will find them in their complete raw form in Appendix 8. So, what is Appendix 8? Now we know, and we have to decide later whether we want to read Appendix 8 or not. Right now, we will continue our reading. We have also reproduced in other notes and dictations a section of other materials of interest in the Trust archives. For further description of these original documents, see pages 250 to 255 and 274 to 276. Part 5 concludes with reproduction of assorted visual materials from the Trust archives. Outstanding among them is what we are calling the Film Master Chart. Film Master Chart. an enormous diagram or pair of diagrams that Adi Senior prepared under Baba's instructions. Once intended, yeah, intended as an aid to the screenwriters, the chart is a global representation of the divine theme, explicitly linked to the written content of how it all happened. The archival collection also includes a pair of drawings of exotic creatures, illustrations clipped out from a scientific manual, sample pages of documents, and other selections from the body of materials Baba had compiled for this film work. This is the only section of this book collecting material that never found its way to publication during the phase of Meher Baba's early Western tours in the 1930s. And this is important. It is nowhere published. So, what now we are going to read is very important because it is not available anywhere else. This particular assemblage is being published here for the first time. One, one presumes that the grand cosmological vision of how it all happened, left uncompleted during Meher Baba's own lifetime, will one day flower into full expression in the world of cinema, perhaps as a single master film, or perhaps as a line and tradition of movies, exploring through the talents of creative artists in generations to come. This great legacy that the avatar bequeathed to humanity. And really, we wish that someone should come forward and make a film, maybe, or a serial or in a series. There is one in Hyderabad, na Meher Tej is there. So
Yeah.
you can take up to meet him. Page number 161, part 5. How it all happened. Another introduction. The first introduction was for the part 5, altogether, what is there. Now, this is the introduction for this part 5, how it all happened. Introduction, preliminary comments. This film will command worldwide appeal. It depicts 4 phases in the spiritual journey. First phase, creation. Second, evolution. Third, reincarnation. And fourth, spiritual advancement. From the film's treatment of creation, astronomers will learn something new. Up till now, their knowledge and discoveries have extended only so far as the nebula. But where did the nebula came from? This, as well as the source and beginning of creation itself, will be explained in the picture. The film's treatment of evolution will interest and prove useful to scientists. Organic evolution is explained so far as possible in terms and a manner familiar to Western scientists because terms and treatments foreign to them would only confuse matters. These notes do provide some original explanations, however. The beginning of life, even before the amoeba, is explained through reference to Banchua, about which, now this is very interesting and important, about which scientists know nothing. Bhanchua, Bhanchua. Also, these notes describe the subtle gases created prior to the first appearance of protons and electrons. This is so very important. The film will show three previously unknown species of creatures, which will throw open a window of fresh light for scientists. One of these species is half fish and half reptile. Half fish, half reptile. The second is half bird and half bat. And the third is the so-called missing link between the advanced apes and man. We have all these pictures. So next session, we'll try to show all these pictures. Baba, it is given. With
Yep.
great difficulty, he has drawn the pictures and those drawings are available in the book. We'll try to show on the screen a half bat and half bird, half fish, half reptile. And most important, missing link between the advanced apes and man.
Yep.
The part of the film concerned with reincarnation will give new hope to the rest and suffering people of today, because it will help them to understand that this present life, weighed down with unhappiness, does not give the whole picture. Life seen in its totality consists of a series of innumerable lifetimes spent gathering experiences of good and bad, happiness and the explanation of spiritual advancement, a phase which subdivides into 7 planes or stages will appeal to and provide food for mystics, occultists, seekers of truth, and spiritually minded people in general. It's wonderful. Finally, the stories of 3 characters passing through 5 lifetimes will thrill and stir the emotions of the sensation loving masses of humanity. Overall, the world will glean some idea of how through these phases of creation, organic evolution, reincarnation, and realization, the gradual advancement of the soul and the development of its consciousness take place. One of the special features of the film will be the spirit dance, which occurs on one of the planes of consciousness. This will fascinate the film's viewers. So he had also planned a dance in the film. That also a spirit dance, dance of spirits.
No, I don't know how Baba could have put that
Ah.
that dance part. I mean, how to explain that, how to write it. I mean, not that easy. Yeah.
See how wonderfully, Miss, it's beyond. Shall I share this page?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this we are on page number
This
one.
is page 162.
Right, right. So, one of the special features here we will spirit dance. Okay, the first after that, the first and it is really beyond imagine what he has done now. It's so interesting to know these things. At least for me, it's new. The
Yeah.
first and fourth phases of the journey, that is creation and the spiritual advancement, will have to be shown through trick photography. See, that also he has planned how to show it. Evolution will be depicted through animated drawings and cartoons. Those days were not of cartoons and all that. A detailed chart illustrating and explaining evolution has already been prepared. We may choose to follow it closely, tracing the course of evolution in detail. Or then again, we may prefer to show only the main species on the principal stream of evolution. That is, a single figure representing one particular species evolves into a figure representing the next main species, and so on. This effect into bracket, this effect can be achieved by an animated figure that represents one species dissolving into a figure representing the next main species in the order of evolution and so forth. The transformation of the physical forms between the first four lifetimes in the story dramatizing reincarnation is to be shown thus. And this is very interesting. When these three characters have been shown in the series of reincarnation, I think it throws a little light on the impressions and rebirths and how we are connected and entangled amongst ourselves and next birth and all that. It is very interesting. This is an
Yes.
example. Okay. When a person dies, that is, when the gross body falls off, the subtle body is still attached to the person, lingers in the spirit world for 3 days. Thereafter, the mental body enjoys or suffers in the spirit world according to the impressions it has gathered during the lifetime of the person who has physically passed away. After a time, according to the imprint of the spent out impressions of the mental body, a new subtle body is created exactly similar to the gross body in which the soul subsequently reincarnates. Isn't it wonderful? See, I'll repeat it. After a time, according to the imprint of the spent out impressions of the mental body, a new subtle body is created, exactly similar to the gross body, in which the soul subsequently reincarnates.
Yeah.
Ah.
Interesting.
I think it would be best to begin with the last life in the story, that is, the, the lifetime in which the soul of X gains God realization. From that state, he can then look back and or
Look back.
look back and see creation, evolution, the previous four lifetimes, and the multifarious experiences into bracket of reincarnation, progress through the planes, and so forth that he has gone through. Of course, the three souls in the story pass through innumerable lifetimes besides these principal five. Only the last two are consecutive. Otherwise, the souls incarnated many times between each of their first four lives. From the fourth lifetime, however, the soul progressed directly to the fifth without any intermediate incarnation. Without
I
any
didn't understand that.
intermediate. Huh?
I didn't understand the last section. Of course, the three souls of the
Yeah,
story.
because what they say is no how the film is made, the script is they are the last scene of the film, they will show the end of that soul
Okay, okay.
That is, they will first show the God realization achieved by that soul. When that soul, suppose X is the soul, he got the God realization. So in the film, they will show this portion first,
Okay.
that he has gained God realization.
Okay.
And when he gets the God realization, then he sees all his past lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I was once a time stone, I was bird, I was animal, I was man, I was woman. Then he realizes, oh, this was all dream. It was not true. I was God, I am God, I'll be God. What I was experiencing was just a dream, as we feel after getting up from a sleep. And but here in the picture, they have shown only last 4 lifetimes of these characters. It is said that each character have passed through innumerable lifetimes, but that's not shown in the movie. It is not possible. So only the characters last 4 lives have been shown in the movie. Am I too fast? The 3 tracks. It is interesting. The 3 tracks. The evolution of the soul really means the evolution of the soul's consciousness, through the course of which the soul itself remains unmodified. Whatever changes is the forms. Physical forms keep on changing, impressions keep on changing, level of consciousness keep on changing, but soul remains as it is as a soul. Soul is unmodified. The soul itself does not evolve, it is consciousness that evolves. The purpose of the evolution of body or form is to facilitate the evolution of consciousness. Body or form cannot evolve independently of consciousness. So, the only purpose of evolution is the development in the consciousness, without which forms do not change. So, every change, every form brings some development in the consciousness. Now, it is still to be seen how forms evolve, because consciousness must evolve for the achievement of union with the divine. Forms must evolve also. And here I will add one thing. In Creation and Causes, Baba says, the form will be, or I think it is in God Speaks also, the form will be suitable to the impressions. As the impressions, as will be the form.
Right.
Why the previous forms are smaller, 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 and then they develop? Because the impressions change. Consciousness is the like for stone, consciousness is very, very meager.
Yep.
As the consciousness grows, so the forms develop. In overview, the entire cycle of evolution, which begins when consciousness emanates from God and concludes when it merges into God again, is divided into 3 distinct parts or sections, as illustrated in the diagram on the following page. Now you can show that diagram. I can't show. If it is possible, I think there was a diagram. There is a diagram you were showing now. I will stop share and you can share that diagram. I don't think anyone can read what I am presenting. Am I presenting anything? Yeah. Mr. Prakash, you can show that diagram you had. Yeah, this is the diagram. The first part can be called the descending track. Uh, uh, this one. Yeah. So, this is the first part. Uh, 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 the left hand, this one left, this is God. Now, this is oversoul. So, this descends. So, this left part is the descending track, as it is written there, descending track. So, it says the first part can be called the descending track, which commences with the original emergence from God and ends what we call the Paramatma, or soul becomes soul. With the original emergence from God and ends with the creation of the first human form. So here is, can we? Transverse track, reincarnation, innumerable lives. So this first track ends here with the human form, which is totally where the consciousness is fully developed. So first track ends at the first human form. The descending track comprises all the different evolutionary stages of form and consciousness, which, as explained, run parallel to one another. So this is page number 164, that is God, and right side is ascending track. And ascending track is nothing else but spiritual path. So from the first plane to sixth plane, it will come under the ascending part. So diagram 1, original drawing illustrating the three tracks in the soul's journey. The first track is descending, second is ascending, the third is ascending. So this parallel is second form, and this second track is nothing but reincarnations, because here oversoul has become soul and comes down up to the level of human, where the consciousness fully developed. Now, this second track, which is horizontal, is nothing but the innumerable lifetimes, that is reincarnation in the human form. And the third parallel, this third vertical track is nothing but the spiritual path. And then after again climbing down, the soul will become oversoul. He will merge with the oversoul. He will get the God realization. It's simple. The second part, or this one, traverse track. The second part, or the transverse track of the evolutionary cycle, begins when consciousness achieves the first human form and ends when it gains admission into the divine path, spiritual path. The transverse track comprises the rounds of births and deaths, that is, the innumerable human incarnations in the course of reincarnation. The third part, this right side column, the third part is represented by the ascending track through the planes of consciousness. That's why there are only 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth, and seventh is God. As you see, there are small lines on this line. Yes, exactly seven. So the third part is represented by the ascending track through the planes of consciousness, which begins with the entry into the first plane and concludes with attainment of the seventh, which is the plane of God realization. Now, let us see how evolution manifests on the passage down this first track, which is the descending track. See how simply Baba has explained the whole God speaks here in one diagram, and that too in such a fashion which Westerners can easily understand, isn't it?
But
Just
now
a
we have
diagram.
slightly better diagrams also, right?
Huh?
Now we have slightly better diagrams from Rano's drawings that she did. Rano Gailey.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have.
How hard she worked
Yeah.
and how Baba saved her. Do you know that story? Happened in Nasik?
No, you can tell us. Yeah.
Yeah. See, when these Westerners came here and Ranu Gali fell sick and she was diagnosed typhoid. She had a fever. She was diagnosed typhoid.
Okay.
So she was given treatment, but there was no improvement and her condition was worse, worse, worse. Baba personally was attending to her. Baba personally was taking care of her. And finally, at that time, Rahuri, Mast, and Mad Ashram was also there. Rahuri is not very far from Nasik. When we go from Nasik to Mehrabad, Rahuri is in between, falls between. And Dr. Nilu was there posted to take care of Mads and Mus. So Baba calls him to Nasik and asks him to examine Ranogeli. And when he sees her, he said she has been wrongly diagnosed.
Oh.
And that red cellate fever, some type of fever she has, and she doesn't have typhoid. So the whole treatment is changed. Daily 1 teaspoon of orange juice Baba himself used to feed her.
Mhm.
Baba himself used to attend to her, take care of her. Her condition was so worse, there were no chances of her living and saving, coming back to life. So worst condition. But finally, she was recovered from it. And then there was some party there at Meher. The ashram was called Meher Retreat. In Nasik ashram was called Meher Retreat. And there was an ice cream party. So when this ice cream, Elizabeth or someone had called for the ice cream and everyone was given ice cream. So Rano Geli asked Baba's permission and she asked Baba, please permit me also, I also want to have ice cream. Please allow me to have ice cream. So Baba says, no, no. But she says, no, no, how can you say no? Everyone is enjoying. I too can have just little. And Baba says, no, no, your throat, you will have a sore throat as you have a sore throat, Mr. Prakash. So Baba says, you will have sore throat. You must not have it. But she insists. So what Baba does with his little finger, he takes little ice cream on his little finger and gives it to her. And she says, she sucks it and she says, because Baba has done this pampering, I forgot that I couldn't have the ice cream with others. Baba himself feeds him. And then Baba tells her, do you know why I have saved you? When you were ill, if I would not have been there, you would have died definitely. Baba tells to Rano Geli, do you know why I have saved you? Because you have to do my work. I have saved you for doing my work. So now your life is my work.
Wow.
And so she tells, yeah, your life is my work. And so she tells that then it was a big lesson for me that for me, life was not life and it was not for the enjoyment, but for doing Baba's work and the importance of it and to control desires. It's not for fulfilling the desires. So many lessons she said I learned from that one sentence.
Wow. Beautiful.
ठीक. So when we had started, I always get confused with
No,
timing.
10:15. I mean, we start at 10:15 here. It's 11:20 now. Maybe we can stop at this time if you think it's the right time. Yeah.
So shall we stop?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe we'll continue next time onwards at this time, if you don't mind.
Yeah. You are not at all well, and still you have joined. Thank you so much. Thank you. Betty is also there, but not as happy as always. She is all shiny. Been suffering a lot. To the ship. So we are on page number, because I don't have books, so Mr. Prakash, you can kindly make a mark there. On page number 164, we have stopped.
Right. Okay.
And next time we will start from 165, that is evolution of consciousness.
Okay.
So we'll enter on the spiritual path next session. After 15 days, we'll enter on the spiritual path.
This will be a very interesting story, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
I've read,
Actually,
I've read that before, but I don't remember much.
mm,
So, yeah.
I feel we should sit with a pencil, pen, and diary
Yeah.
because we need to chart out the diagram of their lives.
Right. Right. Right.
This XYZ,
Yeah.
what was he in his previous life? What was Y? What was Z? What was their relation with each other? It is
Yes.
so, just within 4 lifetimes, we just get, at least I got so confused.
I know. That's true. It happens.
So many lifetimes, how many uh, entanglement, what Baba says is perfect. He says that if I go on telling you of your lives and sanskaras, you will have to take so many births and still it will not be over.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Baba. And we'll have Aarti. Anyone? Yeah, Diana is there. She sings very so nice. I know, no, she's telling no. Okay, so is there Ahimsa? I'll just see. Yeah, Ahimsa is there. It was her birthday yesterday, so we'll ask Ahimsa to sing Aarti. And then, yeah, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
बोलो अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Ahimsa, sorry, a little loudly. We can't hear you. Little
I
loudly.
think there's some problem with.
Now like that you take the mobile near you.
Yeah, I'll switch off the video and try.
नाही आता आवाज आला बरोबर असंच कर एकदम जवळ
अच्छा.
घेऊन कर हा जवळ घेऊन कर जय बाबा थँक्यू
हुआ लहर से ही है जिसकी सृष्टि का निर्माण उसकी दैवी अनंतता का कैसे हो अनुमान आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन नमो ब्रह्म आओ मेरा प्रभु आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। प्रेम दीप में ही जलाऊं, निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊं, अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं, अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं, तुम मुझको सरसाओ मिहिर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मिहिर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मिहिर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। जीवन की हर सांस हमारी बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी, हे करुणा कर लीलाधारी, हे करुणा कर लीलाधारी, तुम करुणा बरसाओ मिहिर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मिहिर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मिहिर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। बने आरती जीवन मेरा, बने आरती जीवन मेरा, आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा, आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा, खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, तुम मुझ में छा जाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो ब्रह्म आओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेरा प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। बोल अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। जय बाबा।
Thank you.
You sing very well. Beautiful. Yeah.
थैंक यू।
Jai Baba.
जय बाबा।
Thank you.
Thank you, Ahimsa Jai Baba.
Okay, so should I stop recording now?
Yeah, please.